going through the whole journey of tennis, whether that be as a player, now as a coach, and coaches will be able to resonate with this a little bit. Um, it is a very challenging sport. The amount of time, effort, money, travel, etc., that is spent in this game is tough. You have to overcome injuries. You have to overcome financial setbacks. You have to overcome, lack of sleep. You have to overcome, so many different things in this game, and it is a very testing game to play. And it tests your willpower and it tests your resilience. Resilience is what someone spoke to me about early days is the armor that we wear that protects us when things get really hard. And the more you go through hardship, the more armor and resilience you create. And if that's the case, then I've got armor that is actually literally the size of a bedroom, and I can basically feel it definitely. And I feel like, things are going to happen, and they will happen in our careers. But the more I've gone through over the course of my journey, the more I'm going to be able to understand how to deal with it, because I'll probably have solutions that have been utilized in the past that have worked or not worked, and I'll have better solutions for them in the future. Um, Injuries. I've got a lot of kids that, you know, injury. A kid, like for example, I got a message before. One of my players fell over on a wet court, slipped, and may have broken their wrist in a match, had to retire. Now, this poor player has missed 6 weeks previous with a similar injury on the wrist, fell over on a wet court, hurt their wrist. And this was about 10 weeks ago. And then before that, I got hit in the eye with a ball and missed 6 weeks as well prior to that. And now this is a really testing time for a 14-year-old kid. But, my job now as a coach is to help him build that armor of resilience so that when he's 17, 18, he looks back on these experiences and thinks, wow, I'm glad I went through that. I see everything as an opportunity, not as a problem. And I've been taught that from a young age. My coach taught me that. His one quote was, "There's no such thing as problems, only opportunities." Now I spoke to this young kid about this is not a problem. It's actually an opportunity to get better, to grow, to improve, to work on other elements of your game, physically strengthen up. Whatever we need to do outside of this arm, we can work on. This is one part of the body. We've got so many other parts that we can actually develop. So you are going to go through a lot of hardship, and even the top players in the world go through it. And I think it's important that we allow, and this is one way to train it, we allow these hardships to be in our lives, in our children's lives as parents, as coaches. We ensure that we teach through the hardships, because the hardships are what make us who we are. But we have to learn the lessons that they teach us rather than focusing on the problem. We focus on the opportunity.